Wipe the sorrow off every face. Give some food, lend a hand with care. Little acts of kindness. Erase the tears in the shadows where home feels.
Good evening, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is David Okon. We have been on this program for a few years now. We began in 1922 posting videos and talking about mainly the cost of living crisis. My apologies to my fans and for people who have been following me for the years, because as recently as September, I fell sick, and ever since I haven't actually been posting videos. It seemed like an eternity. Otherwise, during the summer, I've tried to record videos, and I thank everybody who have been following me from the beginning. I created this YouTube channel in 2012. I did not post any videos. I started posting videos in 2022, and ever since I've been busy creating, and I've been challenging in terms of engagement with fans. I have a connection with so many people in my communities here in the UK. I live in the United Kingdom. For those of you who know where the United Kingdom is, leave a comment below. Let me know what you know about the United Kingdom. And it is now winter. We have just gone from winter into we are still in winter. Actually, we are in March, just the beginning of March today. Today is apparently the second, Monday the 2nd here in the UK, and it is very early in the morning. So I thought to myself to celebrate this new month, and we had new months and new year. I was extremely sick. Normally I do a lot of work during December period, January, because these are the time when I celebrate, move around. There's a lot of activities in the community. I try to do a lot of recording. My recording is not edited because I lack equipment to edit. Editing video is quite expensive. Editing video is extremely difficult. You need a set of skill, need a lot of money, and I'm just doing this. And if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and click notification bell so that when I post a new video, you can not miss it. You can you can actually join me in the discussion. And when I say discussion, I'm always doing all the talking, and I use different methods, different techniques to do recording. And I thank so much everybody who have been active.
Bit by bit, we can change this place. Wipe the sorrow off every face. Give some food, lend a hand with care. Spread the love, it's everywhere. Never give up, no, don't let it fade. Little acts of kindness pave the way.
Yes, so we had a little bit of interruption because I was failing to read the timing on my system, and this is a slightly voice recording which I will use to integrate with the pre-recorded video images. So also leave a comment if you like this approach. While I wait to get more integrated equipment to do the video. And like I said, I've been nearly 5 months now from September. I think the last video I recorded in September seemed like eternity. So today I just decided to record this material. I am, as I said, been talking about the cost of living crisis. We started, I can't remember even when, it started in the UK and in Europe, in America, and across the globe. It affected so many people in so many different ways. The cost of living meant the cost of basic necessities went up, including food, energy, water, including also housing, public transport, medical bills going up, and a lot of other people, clothing, in terms of clothes, dresses, trousers, shirts, and shoes, all the things we need on a daily basis. If you buy your medicine, if you're in Africa, where the welfare system is weak, there is a lot of problem with malaria. If you catch malaria in Africa, it's a matter of life and death. In the past 40 to 50 years, perhaps also more. Malaria in Africa used not to kill so many people, but now the situation in Africa has changed, and we are experiencing a lot of problems in Africa. Originally, I'm from Africa. I have been living in the UK for many years, and I've learned the system here, but life is about learning all the time, and we never stop learning. And in the this video, I will be showing images of London I took during the summer to kind of like as a cover for this voice recording, because this is a video program for my YouTube channel. And like I said in the other segment of my YouTube material, subscribe to my YouTube channel, click like, and watch and share with family and friends, and the more the merrier. If you get used to the kind of content I create, you can also enjoy it. But this is to share information which is in my head, and I present this material in a more integrated way, because I look at the economy generally, look at the local and the global economy. Local economy, in my example, will be the UK economy. But if you watch the rest of my video, I've been talking a lot and also learning a lot, doing research and learning how to do presentation, so to speak. I am by profession a legal advisor, so I'm trained, and I've been giving legal advice for over 10 years now here in the UK. I give advice with the biggest advice service in the UK. I'm not mentioning their name because of taste or lack thereof. Leave comment below if you think I should mention the organization I work at. But by way of information, you can reference everything I say, especially if I begin to talk more specifically about a specific topic relating to the cost of living. I treat specific items of subject to illustrate the issue of the cost of living. The cost of living relate to money. Relate to money. Money, I have been explaining in terms of in economic terms, and also in terms of income. And leave a comment below if you think it is interesting how I explain these concepts. The money cost of living affects mostly people on low and medium income. People who work for a living as employees or self-employed, or people who are, there is something called apprenticeship. If you know apprenticeship, leave a comment below. It is a type of training, job related training here, especially here in the UK, but also probably across Europe and America and across the developed world and Africa, which is sometimes referred to as the developing world. These are to support mainly young people into work, but they are paid less than, I think, the minimum wage. Minimum wage is a statutory directed level of payment in the United Kingdom. Sometimes they call other components as the living wage, which applies differently across different regions or different cities or areas. In London, for example, the rating is a bit higher because the cost of living is higher in London. Cost of living is way of life in a bad way, because things we need, in particular food and energy and all the other things, should ideally be free of charge. But that's not how work live. Our life work, because you live and you cost something one way or the other. Ideally, we should be working and getting what we need. We should be building our own things. But that is in an ideal world, which is good, which is something we can also do by way of ideas. But the system we work now is controlled by the state. The state is operated by the government. Government is monitored, is moderated by Parliament. Parliament, as you know, is representational of it is representative of democracy. The concept of democracy means we elect our government and government of the people by the people, basic concept in terms of democracy. In practice, it is more complicated than that. We live in a society where there are people who are in power and there are people who are outside of power in the political context of the world. Those in power are those with wealth, accessing wealth, and those who run the global economy. And when I talk of global economy, I also talk of local economy. Like in the example of the United Kingdom, people who operate economies in Britain are the people who apparently are accessing big businesses like corporations, people who are wealthy, who are multimillionaires, multi-billionaires. There are increasingly more billionaires, disproportionately comparing the decades in the past and now present, going into the future. There are going to be more and more people who are billionaires, and this contrasts with with more and more people getting less and less income. People who are on the lower scale are getting less and less, because you see the global structure, the economic structure globally is quite rigid, and you can only get so many people having wealth in society. That is how the structure works. Because otherwise, if you allow people at the bottom to have more money, it creates something of the way by way of economic instability. How you work can be more complicated than the way I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to explain it on the street language, in the common ordinary language. If you want more technical explanation and if you like complication, then you can use this video to do your own research and also get textbooks. You can buy textbooks on economic, on globalization, which is a political concept. Globalization and also localism is an economic concept. I've been talking again and again over this material, over this topic, and I'm getting used to it. And leave a comment below if you enjoy listening to whatever I have to say. For me, it's quite a privilege, because it's quite therapeutic talking on the video and recording videos in this manner, because it's the choice I've made to talk about a crisis and what I refer to as displacement. Because you see, if you look at the cost of living is a type of crisis in terms of theme of discussion. So chosen this approach and to say, whatever resemble the cost of living crisis and alongside many other forms of pricing. Crisis for as a theme creates displacement. And when there is a crisis, there is a war, for example, now in Syria, the people of Syria are displaced, and it creates a lot of calamity. Normally, it contributes significantly on the cost of living as a problem. So, below, we all thought about the war, because we have fought wars for decades. If you watch the rest of my video, I'll be talking things similarly because the themes are the same, but the context will be different to illustrate the issues. Because my argument is based on my thought that talking about problems is a way of solving it, either emotionally, psychologically, practically, financially. It is a good thing to speak, and YouTube channel has given me this opportunity to talk to myself often, and how I wish I could be talking with people, also discussing with people, but there's time for everything. This is just the beginning. Stay tuned, continue watching.
Single mothers and kids alone, oh, let's help them build a better home. Clothes, take away their fear, help them laugh, erase the tears. In the shadows where hope feels thin, be the light.
So welcome back. Let us carry on. We had a prelude. Is it what you call we had a break, some sort of a break. And let us continue talking about employment. Now, when I tell you I'm talking about employment at this moment, it's going to be difficult for you to accept or even to comprehend that the topic, the kind of topic I'm talking about, the kind of content I'm talking about, might not necessarily sound like employment. Only that when I talk about employment or any other topic, it is my intention, it was my intention from the beginning of starting this video, this channel, to illustrate the cost of living in terms of different elements. And if you watch my video, I've been talking about different elements. Income is at the heart of the cost of living crisis, in my opinion. And income is so important in the UK, where I live, and which is also the central the central context of discussing this topic. Although I've been looking at different perspectives locally in the UK and also globally across the globe, including Europe, America, South Africa, and other parts of the world, in Africa, South America, in Asia. The cost of living is a global issue, and it has always been the case. But when it became a crisis recently, I think about 4 or 5 years ago, it became a crisis. And when I started recording video, what prompted me to start recording video? Because I was waiting for a perfect opportunity to start recording, and the cost of living as a crisis presented itself in a timely manner to give me that opportunity to start talking about a topic which was relevant and remains so. The thing about the cost of living having been as a crisis, now it has stabilized, and also at a crisis still, but we don't talk about it because something becomes a crisis when it becomes a fundamental issue in society, maybe poverty, and maybe disruptive occurrences, such as food prices, prices of food going up, prices of medicine, things which are of necessity to our lives, our livelihood. The price is going up, and going up in such a way that we cannot afford many things. Going up in such a way that the majority of population in the country wouldn't be able afford basic necessity. Here in the UK, the problem of income has been very bad, and when something bad or good happens in Britain, in the United Kingdom, it affects the globe. Normally, when something bad and all good happen in America, the rest of the world reacts in one way or the other, because these are really powerful nations in terms of global economy, because in terms of national economy or local economy, as the case may be. And I've been talking about these things over and again, and you have been part of it, and we are a small channel in terms of our fans, our fan base. It is my hope that the videos as I record on a daily basis, and I will record this as I said earlier. I will record anything on this platform for about 5 months because I've been sick, and now recovering a little bit. I feel a little bit more energized, but don't take my word for it, because I've been having a medical condition, a physical condition, which is apparently pain in the joints, and medication. It comes suddenly, and when it comes, you will not believe when I say I am sick. People are confused. Everybody, even the hospital, is confused, not really believing that I'm sick. But I'll be walking 1 minute or 2 minutes, and another minute I am not working at all, and I can't even I can't even get out of bed, and it has been so bad. And I've been balancing things I do we things I don't do in terms of my health. But I am so grateful to God that it has given me a special opportunity all these years, and a lot of people have lost their lives due to COVID-19, due to different other things. If you're in Africa, malaria is now becoming a very serious matter. These are also a type of crisis, if I may say so. And I already said to you that every time I talk about the cost of living crisis, I relate it to all the other aspects of our society. Right now, I'm going to be talking about employment in this series. I've spoken about employment previously, but that was where I stopped. So now I'm going to start talking about employment again, because that is something I would be interested to do. And leave a comment below, and if you like it, if you don't like it, let me know. And if you like the way I do my video, let me know. And I'll talk about some things which are very serious, including politics, including economy, and also I have, general knowledge. I'm not an expert, but I enjoy talking about these topics, especially politics. You don't need to go to school to learn politics. Politics is life. And sometimes things to do with the cost of living is also life, because it's something you experience every day. And employment being part of an aspect of the cost of living crisis, which I will explain in a minute, is also relevant because it relates to income, like I said just a moment ago. In the UK and similarly across the globe, employment relates to income. When you are on low and medium income, like I said in several of my videos, I keep repeating this point because it's so important. A lot of people stream in and out, and sometimes they stay, sometimes they don't stay, and that is really interesting. So if you watch my video, sometimes you feel I'm repeating so many points. The reason being, my channel is still small. We are about 4,000 subscribers, which is brilliant. We thank God for that, but there are certain things we still need to do to let the channel grow. I'm so excited. The thing about YouTube as a channel for me is has been a very good experience in giving me opportunity to exercise my life. You see, it's like a way of life for me. It's also an opportunity to engage with topics I'm interested in, such as politics. And in modern time, politics is really important to so many people. And the economy is closely aligned to political dispensing, especially in a developed country. But you see, cannot underestimate continents like Africa or parts of Asia or South America, because development is rapid. Is going so fast at a very fast pace, and it's a catch-up game to try and monitor or even come into, be on top of developments. Because of technology, we have now the advent of artificial intelligence. I've been talking at random about technology aspects such as artificial intelligence, 3D printer, nanotechnology, robotics. These are the four aspects, and I believe very strongly in these technologies. Really believe strongly in these technologies. I live currently below. I talk about all these things, technology and the economy and social functions and social factors. And when we talk about the cost of living, and we talk of income, we talk of employment. Employment is an economic facility in terms of society, but also employment is also a welfare facility. A lot of people forget to see employment as a social function, because our income is a social function. You buy food, you buy water, you buy energy, you pay for your basic necessity, you go to on holiday, you go to socialize, to meet family and friends. It is a very socially functioning aspect of our life, employment. And employment is provide the primacy of our income in the sense of low and medium income infrastructure, as part of the economic function. And this is important because in the UK, like I said previously, we have at the minimum wage. At the moment, I think the level of minimum wage has gone up. The Labour Party came into power, and they began to review, to make changes. Traditionally, the Labour Party have always been on the side of the working class. The world is so tediously classified in terms of wealth, in terms of income distribution, in terms of welfare, and there is so much to talk about, and I'm so excited, and I'm so excited that you are being part of this exercise, and stay tuned, continue watching. let us carry on with this segment. I've been taking breaks to kind of like have a sip of water. So when I pause and come back, the feeling is as if we are starting afresh. So if you have been subscribed to this YouTube channel, kindly subscribe. Like I said in the other segment, I said I've been away for nearly 5 months and also nearly 6 months, and that is a long time to stay away from the channel. Not creating video. The momentum slowed down. Right now I'm beginning to rediscover my feet, and never mind, leave a comment below and just give me the feedback. We are a small channel and nearly 4,000 subscribers, and we have so many videos and varying in context and content, and how it looks and how it feels. It has been a very exciting experience. It has been the best thing I've ever done being a YouTube content creator. And thank you so much to YouTube for creating this platform. I know nothing lasts forever, but I don't quite cry wolf. I don't cry before my time has come for crying. I continue to enjoy using this platform as long as it exists, because it's so refreshing, it's so strengthening, it's so building of self-confidence. It has changed my life, and also my work, daytime work is so engaging. I like doing research, I like doing write-ups, I like doing, I don't necessarily like it, but it's something I have had to do in according to my work. As an advisor, I give interviews, and also I collect information, primary data from my clients, and also give them legal advice in the process. Then afterward I do a write-up, doing research. Sometimes if the case is a bit complicated, I do research before contacting the client. And now I'm doing remote work. I give advice, legal advice on the phone. And you probably know if you know anything about legal advice. If you don't, then go online and go on gov.uk. You get in the United Kingdom, you will find a lot of information on things like benefit, employment, and consumer and debt and things like that, income and debt, and like I said, in the UK, the primary source of income in terms of the cost of living crisis, which I've been talking about for the last 4 to 5 years since it occurred as a crisis. And when it occurred as a crisis, the level of the level of the cost of living has remained up. It was a crisis, then people got used to the crisis. Now it is the crisis. What was the crisis is normal, but the price has still gone up. In my opinion, it's the crisis that people have got used to the crisis. So then, psychologically, it's probably feel normal. But the cost of living is a crisis. It's still there. And it's not going to go anywhere. It will stabilize, people will get used to it, people will adjust, but the cost of living keeps going up. That is the nature of things like inflation, interest rate. Inflation, if you go to buy something, the value of your money goes down. And interest rate, if you go to borrow money, the cost of repayment goes up. Those are the key features of government policy in terms of monetary and fiscal policy, and something I know very little about. And whatever I know about these things is what I hear on the news, and what I read on the newspaper, and I read online. And if you can do it, you can do it too. I like to think myself as an expert, but I'm not an expert at all. I can tell you that because I just, talk about this thing. I do research. I seem to have knowledge of different things, but my interest and also my desire is to talk about the cost of living crisis, because to me that is the most important thing we are experiencing now, and we will continue to experience this. It affects our housing, it affects our food, energy, it affects our medication, our medicine, medical treatment. And something I'm going to talk to you about now, because I am talking about employment. You may not believe me. What I'm talking about is employment. The reason I'm talking about employment in terms of the cost of living, because employment in the UK and in my opinion across the globe, employment is the primary source of income. And if you are on low income, then the impact of the cost of living rests mostly about on someone like you. People who are on high income, who are multimillionaires and multi-billionaires, also experience the cost of living crisis. But they forget about it because their money, they have a lot of money. What you and I get for our salary, it is their pocket money. They can even forget about it. Because if you are multi-millionaires and multi-billionaires in UK pounds, and I am in the United Kingdom, and you live in the United Kingdom, our money is pound sterling, which is one of the strongest currencies, stronger than the US currency, which is the dollar, US dollar. The pound in the UK is stronger than the dollar, but I think the difference is now superficial almost, because we have the euro, which is also, the pound is still stronger than the euro, which is currency used in the European Union, in Europe. These are currencies, but because of globalization, I think there is also something called harmonization with globalization. The currencies across the globe are being aligned and also integrated, perhaps also harmonized. I don't know that, but in time, money is going to change in character and also in significance, because we might be heading in the way of digital currency, which is things like cryptocurrency. I know absolutely nothing about cryptocurrency. I see it on television. I speak about cryptocurrency to young people. Young people seem to know cryptocurrency more and understand this. The type of investment with cryptocurrency, I have no clue what it is. Leave a comment below if you know anything at all about cryptocurrency. By way of engagement, this channel is a work in progress, and I do appreciate people who actually leave comments in the environment I operate. The topic I work with is such that people do engage with my channel at random. I've been making some shots, a lot of them last year, and I got a lot of viewership in shots, and a lot of viewership, also engagement. I was so excited. So I feel now like a normal YouTuber, and pray for me, pray for my channel, so that more people gain interest in it. And by the grace of God, I hope to engage more people this year. This year is 2026. It's a year of optimism and a year of hope, and wish me luck. And luck actually favors those who work. And I have always argued on this channel, believe it or not, I've always argued on this channel that if you want to succeed, work. No wonder we are talking about employment. Employment is a type of work. Actually, employment is a legal concept in terms of contract. But there are also, apart from contract, there are other statutory structures which control employment. Statutory, the difference between statutory and contract. The statute comes from government. Is an instrument to provide regulatory intervention by the government, which is almost obsolete. It's almost old-fashioned. So old-fashioned that even the Labour Party always is reluctant to talk about regulation, because you see, regulation is the opposite of liberty, of freedom. Economic freedom, financial freedom, people do as they please. Employers do as they please, employees do as they please. When we talk about contracts, about freedom, employees and employers are freely entering into an agreement to work. The employer provides labor, and employee provide labor resources, and employer provide jobs. Now, somewhere along the line, they have to agree on salary, on condition of work. Discuss this generally, The model of employment law and employment system in the UK is quite important because you have it to affect the European Union, America, and although, because if you look at the history of empire building, the last empire we had was the British Empire, and they inherited this from the Roman Empire, and the Romans inherited them from other empires. So civilization has been a work in progress, even in terms of employment, how employment began, how the law of employment developed in Europe. Africa received modern government and economy from Europe. Britain, in particular, was instrumental in colonialism in Africa, in Asia, and also in America. You may not believe that the United Kingdom, the UK, actually invaded America, in what's now the United Kingdom, and the United Kingdom, especially South America. I mean North America. In the South, we had more European, like the Spanish, and also maybe Portuguese and all these other. I don't know about Italian, but I think Spanish, Italian probably, and Portuguese probably had a lot of influence in South America. If you are a good historian of Europe or the European Union, the current law also of American or the people of America in terms of European going there, you have Australia, New Zealand. Australia and New Zealand are occupied by British from Scotland, I think, also maybe Ireland, and America the same, mainly the Irish and the Scottish, because I remember the former president of America, Barack Obama, the family of his mom came from Ireland. So when he was president of America, he visited Ireland, and they were so happy. They welcomed him as their son. A small one who could have thought Barack Obama's father is from Kenya in East Africa, and so the world literally is getting smaller and smaller in terms of globalization. Borders are opening up theoretically, but for Africa, struggling in the developed world is probably getting more and more complicated. Seeing some of the law changes in terms of immigration law. I don't know what the government is thinking, but we will see, because life for immigrants in the UK and in Europe and America is increasingly becoming more complicated. My feeling is not immigrant, because I am an immigrant from Africa. Sometimes I feel personally that I'm being treated as if I am a slave. And Africa and black people have a stigma and the history of slavery and some of the immigration law, which is politically motivated, actually, are becoming really ridiculously unpleasing. But that is a digression, but these things are connected because, part of why the Europe and America were welcoming immigrants easily in the 80s and probably the 70s. We in Africa were encouraged to come and do the kind of jobs the rich nation of Europe and America didn't want to do, which was good for us. But the tediousness that we became like slaves again for the second time, because the kind of work we do was low paid and it was very difficult work to do. If you are lucky, you got an opportunity to learn, but a lot of people really work and also try to send money home. Sending money home was actually impossible because the countries of the developed world do not want people to take money out of the country. They want people who come into the country to spend all the money in the country. But we are so lucky with technology now. Money transfer system is there, not perfect, but it's allowed Africans, especially Africans, to send money to Africa. Africa is the poorest part of the poorest continent in the world, and it is so bad. And also South America is so bad, and part of Asia, to be fair, there's a lot of poverty still. And this brings us back to the idea, the problem of the cost of living crisis. Stay tuned, continue watching. we are carrying on with our discussion about the cost of living crisis, which is resting on the notion of income in the United Kingdom where I live. And I took a pause as always, and thank you so much for staying with me up to this time. And this is a channel I created in 2012. I decided to post videos in 2022 when the cost of living at its peak, and since then I've been talking about the cost of living crisis. And I've been away for the last 5 months due to sickness. I have a physical disability because of physical pains on my joint. If the pain has gone down little, you may think I am really not being serious about my sickness, because I seem to be so normal for a few days, for a few hours and days, and then suddenly, if I walk a lot, I become very, very sick on medication. I'm beginning to think I need to pay more attention on something like physiotherapy or occupational therapy. If you know anything about physiotherapy, occupational therapy, which I take those to mean the kind of physical therapy to manage pain and manage to manage the situation, because I need to be mobile also, because it's affecting my mobility. I've been sharing this over and again, because the thing about social media with YouTube is to share, to carry one another's burden. And leave a comment below how you feel about carrying one another's burden. We are a small channel of about 4,000 subscribers, and I'm so grateful for that. We are work in progress in many ways. There is a lot of work to be done, and for me, the attraction necessarily is to engage with issues I care about, and to also talk about things, because I believe talking about things is the best form of progress. And I see it as a hobby, and I see it as connecting with the world, and also trying to experience our life is around the world, because if you watch it, if you participate to create content, and you get the best of both worlds, and it teaches you many skills, research, and also communication, presenting your material, and many things, because you learn from yourself, you learn from other people. It is very challenging, but I've been doing it for a while, and I'm so grateful to God and to my people who are always doing one thing or another. To even only 1 or 2 people watching is so special, because they say some really good thing, and they like your material, they give good feedback, and social media is a place to be. Is quite refreshing, and it is so complimenting of our lives. It's a part of our health. It could potentially also be a part of our wealth. So wish me luck, and pray for me, pray for my health, pray for my wealth, pray for my well-being. I also pray for you. If you want prayer, I'm a Christian, let me know, and I will pray with you if you are lucky for us to do a live streaming. And that is always something we might be doing going forward. But for now, because to produce a video is very costly, and I need a wider audience base, and also some kind of like resources. And I'm believing God for that, those kind of resources, God's favor, and also people who maybe gain a lot more interest in the subject area I'm undertaking. I'm so passionate about this topic, and sometimes, you know, business and passion are best friends. Once in a while, sometimes they are not best friends, because you know we live in a modern world where business, even content creating like this, need to be taken as if it is a business. You see, and our business is passion are brothers and sisters. They go well together. If you are lucky, and if you are not lucky, then you need to be slightly more creative. But only time will tell where this will go. But I'm content now that I should continue talking about the cost of living crisis. A lot of people keep asking, why are you to always talk about the cost of living crisis? Because it is so important in our lives. it informs everything we do. We may not believe it. It sits in the periphery of our existence, but when it comes to it, when it comes to the crunch, it really exposes us, especially if you're on the low and middle income sector, a segment of the economy. And people who work for a living sometimes not paid very well because of the nature of society. Those who are in power are very concerned about the cost of their operations. And employment represents a lot of, a fundamentally large proportion of that, because, people who work for a living are working to build their country politically or in terms of also ideology, if you like. But in the common, in this common scheme of things, people go to work to earn a living, necessarily. A lot of people enjoy what they do, and the routine can be stressful, but people enjoy facing challenge. They have to get up in the morning, come back in the evening. You're separated from your family, with your children, and also education is also part of employment. People may really disagree with me substantially, significantly, and I would really support them for disagreeing with me. But if you think about it, why do government require the people of a country, the citizens, to go to school, to learn skills? The main purpose is to service the industry, because if people don't learn, they cannot innovate, they cannot really work efficiently, they don't produce value for money. And that's why now technology is beginning to compete with human labor, because if you employ technology fully, then the society will change radically, because technology will work 24/7. It doesn't need to raise, it doesn't need to take water or a meal, or even go back to socialize, to stay with family. And that is the thing with employment, and with the cost of living crisis, and the whole situation becomes very fluid. And begin to ask ourselves, what are we going to do? Because you see, we go to work, it's like it's something you do because you are doing well in life. But if you look at employment, it's really to provide for basic essentials. And so if there is a disturbance in the supply of income for the people of a country like Britain, then you get a crisis-like situation, which is what we are dealing with, which we will continue to deal with, in my opinion. And we have tried to deal with this issue for decades and decades. And the question of taxation is really political, but the reality is very domestic, and it's also very industrial in terms of small and medium businesses. And I seem to think to myself, and also maybe other people may support me, there is a tendency, if you are on low income, if you are a multimillionaire and a multi-billionaire, the system is rigged. If that is the right outlook, that if that is the way society is designed, people who are multimillionaires and multi-billionaires do not pay tax. And that is a big statement to make, because rich people will insist they are paying taxes, and God bless them. If they are paying taxes, then fine. If they are not paying taxes, then let the poor pay. And people talk of social justice and social injustice. People comment below what you think about social justice and social injustice. Because if the economics by design, the economy design, allow rich people to go scot-free, there's something called tax avoidance. People comment below if you know anything about tax avoidance for millionaires and billionaires, how they receive their payment, how they manage their investments, how they avoid liquidity, liquid cash, or liquid remuneration, how they avoid these things. If they buy a new property, how they avoid taxes such as what do you call it? Let's say, even I don't know what they do about value added tax. But if if they buy a new property, there is a tax called I will let you know in a minute. my head as present, and there are so many taxes. To be honest, there is income tax. There is a national insurance contribution in the UK. For example, I think in many places, national insurance contribution is related to state pension in the United Kingdom, but also occupational pension where your money is deducted from your salary or wages, and that is all taxes in my opinion. They don't sell it as taxation, but it is, because you are required to pay it anyway. With many employment is part of your employment. I think it's part of your employment contract, which means a condition of employment contract, which means once you sign the contract, then you are necessarily required to pay maybe about 3 or 5%, depending on the organization you're working for. This is all taxation. And also, because all these affect income, and also is related to the cost of living crisis, like I am trying to now talk about, because you may not believe me, this is a cost of living crisis topic, and I'm using employment as an anchor, as something I can sit on to talk about the cost of living crisis. The employment being the primary source of income here in the UK, and I use the UK to illustrate what happened in the UK and also across the globe, especially in Europe and America, and in addition to places in Asia, if not the entirety of Asia. Remember, even China now is practicing capitalism because they are now doing business. The state still controls a large chunk of the Chinese economy, especially in terms of infrastructure management, like trains, railway, highways, like motorway, big roads and big system of transportation and things like that, national infrastructure, which is a good system. You don't need democracy to operate capitalism, and China is set to overtake America. It's the biggest economy in the world. Let us wait and see. And also we have the IMF and the World Bank factor, which the government exclusively may rely on to finance its economies, especially in countries like Africa, is very affecting of how Africa can now, become competitive on the global platform. But you see, global economy is being urbanized. What happened in one country is similar to what happens in other countries in terms of also how to manage the economy. The model is capitalism. And across the globe, I don't know about North Korea and other parts of the Middle East, but it is semantic to say you are running an economy other than capitalism. The capitalism is famously referred to as the market system. The market system of the economy. The market system of the economy is selling and buying, including trade, domestic and foreign. So you have to really learn to navigate in the jungle, which is the jungle of the market. If you don't dominate, if you don't really function very well, the others will devour you. There are like big animals, big games, big hunters will just finish you. So big corporations can collapse within 24 hours. So they are so sensitive to how they manage their wealth. And they are also very interested in keeping their money for themselves. They don't give money to people they don't know. That used to be the work of the government. The government, when they created a system of government and the state and society, they said, your land is our land, and we are going to use your land to look after you. In the UK, in Africa, in other parts of the world. And now they are still looking for our national security, domestic and foreign security system, legal system, and all the other systems, the welfare system, the economic system, you name it, financial system. The list is endless. That is what the government do globally But now, when it's the sale of the economy, the government begin to change, and whoever has money can buy the national economy, and then they will be happy because they will have more wealth. But wealth or otherwise, we are growing older, and if we cannot really stop aging, if we cannot stop death, then we are going to be futile, because in the end we have to face our makers when the time comes. So we, next time we meet, we're going to talk about the cost of living, employment, and I will try to contextualize it in terms of peace. Today I was talking a bit more about money, about the economy. This is in a general way, in a way that we can also relax and enjoy and think, and maybe leave a comment. So leave a comment. I'm stopping this video here now, and I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed. Click like, click notification bell, leave a comment, share with family and friends. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.
She said your birth buying something.
Say again?
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Is my face in that? I think my face is in that.
No.
Yeah, when you turn it that way.
No.
No?
No.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.